What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And what a day indeed. We started out a little rough. We thought we were going to sell off. You thought we were going to sell off, didn't you? But the market had different plans today. The market actually bounced perfectly off the 200 moving average and nice little zone support area on the 1 hour. And as I am currently speaking, the market is pushing up even more after hours. So before we get started, remember to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So we might as well address the elephant in the room. Miss Cathie Woods got on CNBC today, and she pretty much laid it all out. Innovation and essentially where everything was going. All the ARK holdings, Tesla being one of them, TDoc, and Planters. She talked about all of them and talked about in depth about where Tesla could possibly be going and how much more conviction that they are going in with Tesla and the robo-taxi sector. So that in itself lit a fire under everything, although the whole market in general, I think, was at a point. It was just trying to rest. It's rested now. I think we are ready to start to rock and roll for at least a day. And then you know what happens on Friday. We got take profit Friday. So we'll have to see how Friday plays out. But nonetheless, I think, we were talking about the bulls this week, and then, we're kind of disappointed the first 2 days, but they look like they're coming back now. More than likely, I think today was the dip buy. I didn't buy much more, to be honest. I'm still in everything that I'm holding. But we'll go ahead and bring up the chart and get straight into it. So just as I'm talking about this, SPY has popped up and over. It is ready to rock. I think we gap up tomorrow. I think we got a lot of running. I think a little Miss Cathie Woods helped with that. When talking about inflation and everything, and how inflation could possibly even affect the growth stocks at some point when rates start raising, to try to level out some of those. So there could be a lot. I know I talked about this the other day too, about how I think if there's going to be any kind of major correction, I mean, there's always a black swan, but a major correction, I think once the rates start raising, I think we're going to see bigger corrections at that point. But you're looking at least the end of the year. I think the soonest, possibly not even until next year. So we're going to have to play that by ear because we are agile, and that is what we do in the market. So yeah, SPY looked good, like I was talking about. Coming into today, it was bouncing off this nice support and the 200 moving average, so it had great support. Kind of wicked around and kept bouncing. Some individual stocks actually ran pretty well today. For the most part, I didn't play any scalps today. I was just kind of monitoring my positions. I'm trying to think if I actually took any additional positions today. I did take one position today, which really wasn't probably the greatest idea because they did have earnings tonight, but I had already grabbed the positions before I looked at earnings. So nonetheless, it still panned out because it still pumped after the bell. QQQ, it is bounced out of that zone, still pushing back up. It looks like it's making its way, just like the market in general. Did bounce off that 20, which is good to see. So maybe we start making all-time highs again come tomorrow and into Friday. But Tesla was big on Cathie Woods today. Cathie Woods may have pulled Tesla out from going down under here, but it is looking like it's flagging right now. It is back over the 20, so hopefully by tomorrow this thing is pushed back over the 50. I was debating on adding to my position here today. It did come really low. I almost took it here. I mean, this was close enough to start adding a little bit more. Again, I waited for the retest. It came back down. I didn't grab it here. Just hesitant. The market was holding well here. Kind of wish I would have grabbed it at least in the second attempt down. but I did not. Again, we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's still high or low right now, unless this gaps up over the 50 and tries to hit for that 200 tomorrow. We'll see. Tesla could be a good one. I like playing Tesla, especially when it sells off, because if you have good supports, it does bounce well off those supports in the zones like that. It's another video I got to make here for you guys eventually too, as well, is how I do my zones and the EMAs and stuff. I mean, it's pretty simple as far as the EMAs. I use the 2050 and the 200 are my favorites. Those get the best bounces. The 10, it's okay, but I don't like to use the 10 because it's like a really quick scalping and it's not really worth your time. So I don't use the 10. I use the 20. 20 is pretty decent. 50 is more like, okay, well, you know it's going to go down. If it hits the 50, more likely it will go down at that point. You get your luck bounce before it hits the 20, retest the 20, and then heads back down to the 200. So, but I need to create a video on that. Square got pumped. I'm actually kind of upset. I was waiting for it to hit down in here. It barely missed my zone. I was waiting for it to touch down here, and then I would have got into it, but it did push back up. Looks like it's pushing right back up. It did get a price target increase to, I think, like 330 today too. So kind of upset I missed this one because this could really run, especially with earnings next week. Airbnb, too high. There are a lot of value stock rotation this morning. I know CCL and Wynn we're kind of running this morning. Apple's just been getting pummeled. I think there was more negative news on Apple. I cannot recall what exactly the news was on Apple, but it's just been getting pummeled lately. So that's all essentially just news, why it's been selling off like that. Facebook has been pushing solid. Kind of upset I didn't take this one, although I mean it's still trading really pretty sideways. It just has these one leg ups and then it trades sideways. So it's not my favorite. If you're intraday scalping and you catch that one up, that's the best. But if not, it's kind of just choose up your contracts. BYND, I want it down. Etsy, too high. But I was watching this on the sell-off. I wanted to see how low this would get because I know earnings is next week too. So much like Square, we might not get a little bit more of a sell-off. Square's got a lot of good news, especially with Kathy and Bitcoin and all that stuff too. So that's why Square is probably pushing harder than Etsy. Etsy itself, I think you might be able to see a little bit more selling, maybe down to this 210 mark or so before earnings, and then determine direction from that point. I do like Etsy, so if there's any kind of correction, Etsy would definitely one I want to grab on that trip. Disney looks like it finally pushed back up, bounced kind of off that 200, and using that strong support, and it looks like it's going back up. I'm still in this guy. Again, this is a longer move, a longer swing. I'm an active investor, would probably be the easiest description to define myself. But nonetheless, this is, I still really like and I think with the whole virtual reality and everything that's playing out here, I think, again, this one could really rock. Once it gets some momentum, it makes some really crazy moves. Again, I was upset I didn't grab it on IPO day when it IPO'd, because ultimately I knew with Roblox and everything, that Roblox coming out here, IPO in here pretty soon too, which is one I want to grab. But I knew this would be big. I did see it around here, but I didn't take it. And then from that point, it just exploded to 170. I mean, that was $100 move I could have captured, and I left it on the table. So I didn't want to do that this time. On this dip, it already took a massive hit. Holding shares in a leap in that one as well. Pelletier, still on this one. So again, this one is more of an investment one. To be honest, I haven't played any short term on this one. I have played some short. I should say I haven't. I have, but the last position I took is more of a longer hold on this one throughout the year. Kathy Wood also kind of talked about Pelletier as well, essentially saying that it's more of a long-term play for them down the road. Once more of what they do comes out in the open, because their contracts are mainly government. So once more of that data comes out on essentially the functionality of what they offer with their AI big data behemoth, I think then you start getting more of that commercial side that will eventually start sinking more money into Palantir and trying to take more advantage of that. NNDM, I still really want this one. I'm kind of upset I missed it here, although that was way before pre-market, before I could even have got it. But watching this to come down, Nano, I'm not the hugest a fan. Again, I think this is all based off of being a service and having that. The business model, I think, is what's really getting this thing to sell. Right now, it's not my favorite. High Tide, I've been waiting for this to come down a little bit. I still want this down to that 40 cent mark. We'll see if that happens. ALLM, I still really like this one for the year. I plan on holding, like I said, all my pennies, most of my pennies aside from Planet 13, very good Butcher, and Evogen. All the rest of my pennies I plan on holding for the year. Again, I didn't sink a ton of money in any of them, but I have enough to make a good hit when they do hit. So being said, I still like this one. It did pop and then sell. So that being said, I mean, that could be anything. Somebody probably sold out of position in that one, being such a low float. But Planet 13 is wedging here, so we'll see. This could be a good move out of here. I do want this down by 6 if possible. I want to re-enter this one again. I'm actually upset that I did sell out of this one, not only because did I sell out way too early, but it did run up to 9. But with that being said, I think, again, great play for this year. If it does sell off at all, I'm planning on grabbing and holding for the year. This one here, the Very Good Butcher, still love this one. It's still holding tremendously well on the support. Again, you got, 2 more weeks, a week and a half before this changes over to the Toronto Exchange. It will be on both exchanges. It will be on Toronto and the Canadian Exchange. Being said, but I still really like this play. I'm actually have good, decent size on this thing, ready to capitalize on this move. I think, again, you have the changeover to the exchange, and then you also, again, have the new sales manager that has been distributing to Wegmans and Costco and stuff like that. So once it gets into that particular realm, I think once that news actually hits the public, and people actually realize what this is and where it's going, I think this thing is really going to rocket. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing hit $20 by end of year, if not more. But we'll see, right? I think the plant-based movement is big and is trending. Let's see here. Evogen, I really want this one. Again, if by any chance this gets like a 20-30% correction, I really want to get back into Evogen. I like that one for a longer hold. Again, this is my 5G play. I love this one, the CRNT. I like this one, but I want it down. It is respecting that trend line, this down channel here. So hopefully we get back down again into this 475 mark. I think I do actually have a buy order set for that now. So we'll see if we get that low again. This Planet X Life did sell out. It popped this morning and then it sold off. So, but it is at a good support right now. So if you do want to get into it, again, it is at a good support. We'll see if it just continues to play this range. It's been stuck in this range for a while. Pennies typically do that quite often. Again, but another one that I'm holding for the year. Riot, if you can get it, if you can catch it, if you can catch a dip on Riot, that's where it should be at. But Crisp, not looking at that. Tan, nope. MP, upset about this one. I did have it down here and it ran all the way up to 44. Is what it is. No big deal. Market uncertainty, right? I didn't want to hold a lot of different positions with the market the way it's been. Try not to be my high conviction ones. I am heavier in again, but I still have a lot of powder just in case something happens. So this is another one I wish I would have held on to because it's up at 51 a day. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, that would have been a good play. 51, that's nuts. Let's see here. Let's see the rest of them I got. Bluebird, really taking a hit and starting to struggle, but still not a bad. I did get an NGA today. That was another one I took today, and it did pop. So I did take it early on in the day. And again, the news for this should be coming out about the merger and all that stuff with Lion. So being said, we should see NGA pop, hopefully back up to 40. We'll see how that one goes. Let's see, GINK, that one actually should pop too. Yeah, both EV space, EV starting to pop back again, coming back to life. VIPS might be a good one. It's broken all-time highs, so it'd be a good one to follow up with. Space, a lot of the rest of these kind of, it's like some of the big tech like Tesla, EVs, space is starting to come back. TAP is one of them I want to talk about. I've been talking about this past couple of days. This is, again, the Rock energy drink is coming from TAP, Molson Coolers. Being said, this one could really take off. Right now, it's finally starting to break out of this support. Good sign, very bullish, 20 and 50 getting underneath the candle. Wouldn't be surprised if it gapped up tonight, touched the 200. We do have a little bit of a speed bump right here. Jump up into the speed bump, then come back, and that allows the 20 and the 50 to essentially get right underneath the candle, very bullish, and take off. So we'll see what happens with that. This one, I do like this one, but it has been pumped pretty hard, so I kind of stood away shyishly from that one today. WWE in this one, looks like we finally gapped over the zone. Yes. That is very good. We are running back. We'll test the 200. We'll see how hard it's going to get over that 200. Again, WWE, I love these plays. When you get this consolidation like this, it doesn't make you money fast, but I can tell you one thing, it is very solid, right? Like when it takes these nosedive like this and consolidates, it goes up nice and steady. So again, it doesn't chew up your contracts, which I like. That's why I like trading WWE. Again, I am in this one. I'm in some leaps in this one. So trying to hold this one out till the summer. Again, if we get some parabolic move in this thing, which I don't expect, again, why I like it, because it doesn't make crazy parabolic moves typically. So when it does get back up, that'll be good. I look forward to WWE on that one. Nothing on that one. ASTI, I'm this one, again, penny for long year. It is wedging nicely, so I expect a big pop out of this and starting to run at least back up to that dollar mark. We'll see how that goes. But for the year, I think what is going to happen, and this is just a game time theory, but being said, ASTI has patents on solar, but they make like mobile solar, but it's not just for like backpacks and for else, but they make them for rockets. They have patents on their particular solar panels. Being said, this is just a theory, but my theory is ASTI will get the notice of someone like possibly even Tesla or SpaceX or one of the other space industries. You can even possibly even look at space itself. Might be another possibility as far as trying to have that renewable resource, right? So the energy, I think, would be huge. You can get it on space stations, anything like that. I think this company is going to get bought out. Is essentially what I'm saying. I think that's eventually going to happen. How soon? That's the question, right? But for the year, I want to hold that one. Being said, we'll see. AMC, I am in this one. I have a leap in this one. Again, value play. I think it has nothing to do with the Wall Street's bets thing. But it has been consolidating nicely. Looking for this one to break out. Have a good rally for when we get out of this whole craziness that we are currently in. Being said, I think that is pretty much it for you guys. Baidu is pushing up after hours and earnings, so that's good. Baidu is a good one too. I mean, they got a lot going for them. We'll have to see. Everything else kind of is looking like it's turning over. Skills actually looks like it was trying to attempt to break out and sold off, and I don't know. It's playing this range, but Skills isn't my favorite. IQ, XPI, split on that one. POW, upset I sold this one. That one actually hit $10 the other day. That's crazy. Well, all right, guys. That's all I got for you guys today. Remember to manage your risk. Enjoy yourself. Make that money. Life isn't serious. Don't take anything too serious. You miss something, you lose something. Just look for the next one. Have a short-term memory and get to it. Make that money. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later.